Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. Today we're going to talk to good friends of mine that I met through the wedding industry in the midst of everything, almost like by chance, where we had crossed paths and things like that. So this is called I Do Love a Rental. So this is Jessica and Karen. So welcome to the channel.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
You're welcome. So how did you, first of all, why did you name it I Do Love a Rental?
Well, we were just brainstorming, and then I'm not sure what came over me. And I was like, I just kept thinking of like wedding like terms and stuff. And I'm like, I do. And I'm like, oh, I do love a rental. It just kind of came to me, and I said to Jessica, she's like, that's it.
Yeah.
So,
and I love that part because but also you're not just limited to weddings.
Correct.
All right.
Yeah,
so,
just the majority of our business is weddings.
Which is good because that was originally the target of what you wanted to do. And then you started getting into, oh my God, baby showers and bridal showers and so.
Right.
So tell me a little bit.
There was more of a need,
How did you go from renting? We're going to get to the story in 1 second of how you did it, but what made you get from I do love a rental for rental stuff for weddings? How did you branch out into, and what other things can you rent things for?
Well, we started meeting with people. We have free consultations, and some of the in-laws or mothers of the bride were coming with the bride or couple and said, what do you have for showers too? Because I need centerpieces for showers. And also, we have the Jack and Jill. And then we're like, okay, well, people also have, we started in September. So December rolled around and we're like, well, we have things for holiday parties too. Yep. So it kind of morphed into any event, but the majority of our consultations are for weddings.
For weddings, but baby showers, bridal showers, what else?
Correct.
Jack and Jill,
graduation
parties, holiday parties.
Yeah, birthday, holidays, quinceañeras, anything like that.
I like that. So now let's talk about how. How did the whole concept come about?
So my daughter is getting married, and we started to source things and start to go on this whole journey, and it is a journey, this whole wedding thing. And I sourced some items from someone out of a local town, and my daughter and I went to her apartment. She was newly married, and she was trying to unload all of her stuff. We were going for one particular item. When we walked into her small apartment, she had tote boxes floor to ceiling, and not only her living room, but all the way into her kitchen. And as we came to get what we had signed up to get, she's pulling stuff out of tote boxes. Well, what about this? And I have these centerpieces. And she's basically trying to unload as much as she can on us. And I thought to myself, this is insanity. Why is it done this way? Why is there not a rental place? You're using these items for 5 hours. You know, you're buying them, you're storing them before, you're storing them after, you're schlepping them. You know, this doesn't make any sense. And so I talked to Karen about it, and I said, I have a business idea. What do you think? And she thought it was a good idea, and we literally jumped in 4 feet. And
How long ago?
We started the process in August and officially launched our business in September.
Of 2022?
Of 2023.
2023.
Yeah, so we're like 8 months old.
So this
9
is,
months old.
yeah, this is like brand new.
Yeah.
Since then, what did you find was your greatest, so you saw the need.
Yes.
Which was first and foremost. How did you go about gathering what you thought brides and wedding couples were going to need?
So it's evolved quite a bit. Like what we started with and what we thought we were going to do, it's definitely changed. Especially like Karen mentioned, the bridal consultations. We're hearing what people's needs are. Every time we meet with someone, we're learning from them. Actually, one of the first items that we created was a wedding arbor, and we created it with the intention of my daughter and her fiance getting married under it. And we literally hand built it. We sourced the wood. My father has been a huge part of the business. He's a retired electrician, and he doesn't get a paycheck from us. We don't pay him. He's free. But the three of us really just went to town on that piece, and that was the first thing that we created.
And we do research too, like look at bridal magazines, what the trends are, and also again feedback from our couples. We've even sourced things that like, we have all these items that they need. They just needed that one more thing. And we're like, can we use that? Do you think the other couples are going to want that item? Is it really popular? And we would research it. And if it was, we'd go and get it so that they could rent it and they wouldn't have to buy it. And we might as well buy it and be able
rent
to
it
help
out.
other couples in the future.
We've also moved into trying to get things that are a little bit more unique and special. So we're trying to source things that are fun and different, and
make them ourselves.
Or make them ourselves. Yeah,
we're really big about not sending things to the landfill. So we see things, and that's kind of why Jessica came to me too, because we both were DIY people, and we like to refurbish furniture and stuff like that, or take trash and make it into some type of treasure for our own homes or family and friends. And so we kind of use that unique touch in our business too, where we create unique items too as well.
Very cool. So what kind of things, just for the wedding part of it, what kind of things can be rented from you?
So we have, Jessica mentioned arbors. So
Arbors,
we have a
okay.
really great arbor, and it's well built. It's not some of these ones that you can get like off Amazon
Yes.
that will blow over.
Yeah.
in a gentle breeze.
In a gentle breeze. This is something that we actually deliver and set up because it is very
It's got some
solid.
size to it, yeah.
Yes,
Solid,
it's
heavy.
solid, it's beautiful. But we have backdrops, many different types of backdrops, green walls, flower walls, just palette, like a wooden backdrop. We have centerpieces. We have some.
What kind of centerpieces would you have?
So we have like wooden lantern
Okay.
type of things.
Yeah.
We have like fishbowl type
Bubble
of
bowls,
bubble
yep.
bowls. We have the cylinder vases. And with all of that, we go even one step further, and we make sure that we have battery operated candles for anything that's
interesting.
Lantern or centerpiece related. Make sure that they're all working before they go out the door, extra batteries, so that they don't have to worry about that or spend that extra expense. Because believe it or not, when we sourced candles, they're very expensive.
Okay.
So it's just one more added cost for a couple to use for 5 hours.
And one less thing they have to worry about.
Correct.
And I feel like, so what other things other than, so the centerpieces, after the centerpieces, you said there was other things that you could rent
Yeah,
also.
so we have unique things like champagne walls.
Oh, okay.
We have entry doors, some that for that like element of surprise for like an outdoor wedding. Very popular if you're not doing it at church and have that element of surprise, which they also could be like a backdrop for a table, a couple's, sweetheart table too. But mainly that's what we saw.
An entryway can be also used as a backdrop for behind the sweetheart table, behind the bride and groom. So it's a multi-purpose,
Multitask.
multi-purpose
Yeah.
kind
Yeah,
of thing like that. You can rent it
multi-purpose.
once and bring it here, then have somebody else. So that's very unique when it comes to that. So it's not just one and done.
One of our really unique and maybe most popular items is our blanket bundle. And so we sourced an antique trunk and we filled it with blankets, and there's like 20 blankets that are included. And it's actually, we put the trunk on a wagon so it can just be rolled out to, if you're getting married, a lot of weddings are in fields or that type of thing. And it could, so when it's a little bit cool on a fall night or something.
it's very popular.
And then we even have a hamper that we decorated so it looks very formal and wedding-ish, so that when the blankets are done being used by the guests, they can return it to the hamper, and then we'll wash them and get them ready for the next rental. So that's popular.
Yeah, I can see where, especially on a fall night, a lot of different venues might have a fireplace outside, or there's a back patio kind of thing like that, and I see a real benefit to doing that. What else do you see as far as what I like is you're always looking to see what else can be DYI. But here's the problem that I see with weddings and brides is they don't have the time.
Right.
Correct.
They don't have the time to, oh my God, I would love to do this and this and this, and then you try and get your wedding party involved with helping, and then all of a sudden you don't have the manpower to do that, and then the bride is overwhelmed with trying to get all the stuff done by herself. And I meet a lot of brides that are just frantic with not having enough help. What I see here is I see an outlet to have somebody else has already done it for them, And if they like what they see, they can just rent it. Nobody needs to know if the bride or groom did that on their own.
Right.
Nobody needs to know that.
And we
What
have
they're going to see is a
different
hamper
options.
done, or they're going to see the trunk with the blankets inside of it. They're not going to care if it was a rental or anything
They're
like
going
that.
to feel cared for. They're going to feel like somebody thought of me.
Being chilly at the wedding.
being chilling at the wedding.
You just saved them time and headache.
Yes.
Correct.
And if you can save anybody in life itself time and headache, that's one thing. But when you can save a bride and groom on their wedding day and 3 months before their wedding, time, that is priceless in my opinion, because that last 3 months coming up to the wedding, it's, they're in ready, go mode. And if they had to worry about do-yourself projects and stuff like that, they would either get done haphazardly or they just wouldn't get done, and then it wouldn't get done right. Now she's not happy. When they come to you and they sit down and have a free consultation with you, they're sitting inside of a room that has stuff that's being rented and things like that. So from there, you find out if they have any baby showers, bridal showers, and other things that could be rented also. But when it comes to, you guys also do deliver some things, but some people can pick up their own things also and then bring them back, kind of thing like that. So you have both aspects of that. Some of the bigger stuff you guys prefer to have delivered by yourself,
Correct.
which makes sense. But some of the smaller stuff, they pick it up at their convenience, bring it to their place, and then bring it back, kind of thing.
And they
like
actually have it for 3 days, so they pick it up the day before the
Oh,
event.
nice.
So they don't have to worry about getting it
That was my
morning,
next question,
Less
yep.
stress.
Yep.
And then they get to have someone in their wedding
Yeah.
party or a family member drop it off the day after.
Yeah.
If they do need an extension or something, or like we've had some brides that were like in couples in
Yeah, that makes sense.
Maine or Cape Cod,
Yeah.
as long as we we don't need the items back for another wedding
Yeah.
and inventory,
Yeah.
we will have a discussion and
Yeah.
let them use them for longer.
Yeah.
So yeah.
We try to work with them.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
try to work as best as we can.
And I love the fact that both of you guys have full-time jobs already. Both of you guys are already doing so much more stuff as it is already. To take on the project of doing stuff like this, I feel like this next first year that you did already, you're only 8 months old, and I've already been watching your social media grow from, we just booked another bride, the more you do that, the more people are going to see. But what I love about it is you're saving them time. And there's not a dollar you can put on any amount over time.
Right.
So you talked about like the 3 months out and the bride's chaos, and I can really relate to that. My daughter's wedding is 4 months out, and that's exactly where we are right now. We're like, the ideas are flying, and we're like, how are we going to execute this, and who can we get to help? We're like trying to reel people in, and that is exactly.
I give her oxygen so when needed. I'm sure it'll be reciprocal when my children
Exactly. And
It's a lot.
So how much of your rental items are in your daughter's wedding?
Well, that's funny because Karen keeps telling me you need to take them out of inventory.
I'm like, she's not gonna have anything.
And
we got
I'm
a
like-
lot of brides in September.
we do. And I haven't taken them out of inventory yet. I'm sorry, Karen, because I don't know what we're using yet.
Yeah.
We keep having that conversation, but then we get a new centerpiece, and I'm like, ooh, well, maybe we should use that one. Like I'm like a little child. I get excited about the next thing so much.
Now, is your daughter okay with you? I don't feel like you're pushing your business through the wedding thing, but I think you're trying to give a really good. You've got an opportunity to showcase what you have, not promote business in your daughter's wedding, but you've got an opportunity to showcase some very unique things in the midst of your wedding that are going to be photographed by that. You get those images back, and yes, it's your daughter's wedding, but the client's going to be like, oh my God, look at that. What is it? Do you have a pretzel wall?
We do.
You have pretzel. That was I don't see many of them at weddings that I do. I do see a couple of champagne walls, kind of thing like that.
Donut walls are big
and the
too.
donut walls are big too.
Which we have,
But I love the fact that you've got an opportunity to utilize this place to showcase something, especially something. It's one thing to have an idea and there it is up against the wall if you want to rent that. It's another thing to have that in the where your daughter's wedding's going to be. That's a perfect place for blankets in time of season. Showcasing something like that, you see the blankets in use, and then when you show those, people are like, oh my God, it's going to be. What if it's cold on that night? We better, So that's the most important part that I feel like is going to be the focus for you guys, is have the opportunity to showcase things that you guys want to do it yourself. And I joke that one of my favorite posts from you is your favorite glitter is sawdust.
I also like the way it smells.
It's not mine.
It's not yours. It's not yours. So you're more the administrator part of that.
Yes,
we have
she
our
likes to call
talents.
me. She calls me the juger because I like
She's a juger.
The couples come in and we listen to what they.
Yeah.
It's important to. It's same with you. Like you're not going to take a certain shot with every couple because that's not what they are looking for. You want their vision. So we sit with them, and that's why we prefer to have a consultation because we can talk to them, and then once we go through like our intake sheet. I start pulling things off the shelves. Okay, what's your vision for the sweetheart table? And we have a table right in our office, and I start putting it together. And they're like, yeah, and they're taking pictures to show, other relatives and friends, and they're like, okay, yeah, that's what I want.
Right.
We
So
have all the
really
products right
listen.
there, so Karen can design it specific to whatever it is they're looking for. And everybody's design can be a little bit different, a little bit unique to them.
And that's what I feed off of. I like to do that.
Yeah.
And Jessica's really good at just really getting into the
Elbow deep in
elbow
sawdust.
deep in sawdust, and I'm there learning.
Yeah.
But
We
we
do it
work
together.
really well together
Yeah.
because we complement each other.
Yeah.
We are both DIY, but in kind of different ways.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I think, that we offer is that when we're meeting with someone and we're having a consultation with a couple, sometimes, there's these lists that are available and they're checkpoints and they're trying to get everything. We go through that with them. Well, do you have a card box yet? We're checking things with them. So we're helping them stay organized, make sure they don't miss anything. And they might say, yeah, we've got one, or, oh no, didn't even occur to me. I do need that. What do you have for options? Well, we have 5. Let me show them to you.
I love brides and grooms wedding couples that come in, 90% of the time have no idea what they're doing. And that's okay.
Because they've never done it before,
because they've never
probably,
done it before.
And hopefully we'll never do it again.
Right. Or they've got an idea of what they want to do, but then once they figure out, oh, that's not possible to do that, then they have to kind of rethink kind of thing. But I sit down with my wedding couples and I'll do the same thing. I was like, have you thought about this? Have you thought about that? And for me in my consultations, I like to bring things to the surface that they didn't think of.
Exactly.
First of all, I would have never thought of a card box. Until you just said it,
Yep.
I see a card box at every single one of my wedding.
Yeah,
but you're
they're
like,
buying 3 days
they're
before.
coming to you for centerpieces, and they're like, what about a card box? Oh my God, I didn't even think of a card box.
Yeah. We had a bride reach out to us recently and 2 days before her wedding, and she didn't have her easels. She's like, I didn't even think of it. I have signs and I don't have any easels. Well, we've got them.
Yeah.
All of those little details.
we have it. No
that
problem.
they might be thinking of signs, and I want my welcome sign to look like this, or I want an unplugged ceremony sign. You got to put it on something. You don't want to rest it on the ground.
I did a wedding one time in beautiful etched mirror. Welcome to our, wedding. It's unplugged. Put your cell phones away. Nice big gold frame, and it was on the thinnest easel. Of when they put it on there, you saw the legs wobbling like this. It was just the right easel makes it. I would have never thought of that.
It does.
So signs are one thing that don't blow over. I just did a wedding last weekend and the sign kept blowing off of the easel. So having an easel there that has a clip of something like that, that's stuff that you guys would do. So anybody that sits down with you, they're going to get a little bit of information and education at the same time. Yep. And then the bride and groom are going to walk away and say, I never would have thought of that.
Yeah,
or, oh my God, a card box. I would have never thought of it. Easels. Kind of thing. So what else other than that, and you do other things for parties and events and things like that, where do you see, how do you feel we already talked about having a bigger place and you're already running out of room in your spot that you've got. Your inventory must be, pretty large in a sense of having things in stock and ready to go. So my next question is, if somebody's going to come to you and find you, we're going to put all your information down in the description below as far as website and things like that. Can they order things from the website, meaning they want to rent easel for 3 days and the price is X, or do they have to do everything through a consultation or a phone call through you?
They would need to contact us too. We do have a minimum of $200 rental, just because we do have that. We have even if they didn't have a consultation, we still have to be there for pickup. We still have to be there for things. So it's kind of, we discussed it and we felt like that was
That's fair. That's fair.
We don't have a shop. Like we have a building, but we actually, it's not like a store where we're there all the time.
Correct.
We have to schedule these
So
things.
everything is by appointment only.
Correct.
By
Exactly.
appointment only. And I agree with that. And I think that's very fair because not everybody's available at the same time.
Yeah.
So if you're off doing something over here, Jessica could still meet with that client and go through all of that and vice versa.
Yeah, and we're very flexible. We meet people sometimes during the day, in the evenings, on the weekends. So we try to accommodate, people's schedule too. We understand that people have to, most people have 9 to 5 jobs or 7 to 3.
Yeah.
I wanted to point out one before our conversation ends. You were saying about stress-free and stuff, and that's like what we hear. Like we're kind of like the last people on the checklist, right? Now I have to decorate because we've gotten the DJ, we have or band, we have the photographer, we have the venue. So when they come to us, they're still like in that stress mode, right? Trying to get all the things. And I think the most the comment that comes out the most at the end of our consultation, especially from the bride, but also the groom too, is, wow, I feel so much better now. I feel like this is great. This is, it's just...
We help make their vision.
We help them alleviate stress, help them with their vision, and that feels really good. So now that they can just like sit back and enjoy it, because sometimes, as you're so busy, you can't really enjoy the process and then it's over, right? I can remember my wedding 27 years ago and it's like, oh, it's over. And we didn't have all these like decorations and stuff 27 years ago and all these extra things that people want, donut walls and stuff. I mean, I think I DIY'd like a little ring around the hurricane that came free at the Delaney house. So it's really nice to hear that
and you
feedback
can't put a price
that
on
we're making people happy, and that was why we started. We wanted it to be more economical. We're both very frugal. We're like, before COVID, we were massive couponers. So we bonded. And we also wanted to eliminate some of the stress. And that's what she was experiencing. So when we had a vision for this, we want to help people.
And there's nothing, you can't put a price tag on time.
No.
You just can't. If I can save time someplace, it's almost sometimes better than saving money. Coupons are great. There's no coupons for time.
No.
And if you can save your bride and groom and your wedding couple, how many countless hours of them trying to make their own item,
right,
and
or source it.
Exactly. Or in that sense also, if they can't find time to do that, what they do and what they get from you is that's one less thing that they have to worry about.
Right.
And one less thing they have to worry about makes them feel better, like, oh my God, and they're going to drop it off, they're going to pick it up, we don't have to do this, and so on and so forth. I think it's win-win.
Yeah, and sourcing something off of like Amazon, which I have to admit, Amazon's at my house every day.
Sure.
But for certain things, you don't know what the quality is going to be.
Good point.
And we also make a point to make sure that all of our items are quality items. They are going to be reused, right? So
they need to hold up.
We need to hold up. So we, we've had people say, oh, we'll maybe get that on our own, but then come back because they see that we have some quality items and that they can rent it probably for, less or almost equivalent to what they were going to buy something maybe on Amazon for.
Go ahead. I'll let you.
Well, the other thing I was going to say is that we try to use local businesses.
Yes.
So one example, one of the products that we have is a sign bundle. And it includes all of the signs that you might need for your wedding ceremony. The unplug sign, the welcome sign, the reserve signs, table numbers, all. And they're all hand-built from a company, Backyard Rustic Designs, which is out of Granby, Massachusetts. It's a couple. They hand make everything for us. And they made them in 2 different stain colors. So for somebody who wants something a little bit more barn rustic like, we have that option. And somebody who wants a little bit more elegant, we have that option, the same bundle. So we're trying to also, when Karen talks about the quality and stuff like that, it's not from Amazon. It's not, MDF. They're solid wood. They're made very, very well.
We love supporting local businesses.
Right. So we're trying to go full circle.
Yeah. And with that specific item, like not everybody's going to have the same, maybe somebody doesn't mind that somebody's somebody's taking photos with theirs. They may not use the unplugged,
Yep.
but it's there if they need it.
Yep.
They can pick and choose. So regardless if they use every single sign, it's still going to be cheaper than making all the signs that they wanted of the things that are in our sign bundles. So
Right.
we're trying to, sometimes people do want something specialized. We actually sent a couple recently. They actually got married this past weekend, and the same, so they matched. They got our signs, but they wanted something else that said their names and the date so they could keep it.
So they went back to the same company?
The
We
same
sent- yep,
company.
we
We
referred
sent
them.
them to them. And also with like our mirrors, same type of thing. Like, we're not going to put somebody's name on our mirrors because we're renting it to someone else.
Correct.
But we have somebody that we will source out so they can get it on there, and we allow them to do that.
Yep.
And then we'll just take
it off
take it off after. So
They can remove the
they're
vinyl
renting,
before returning it.
Yeah,
Oh,
they're
that's
renting
awesome.
a mirror for like $25 as opposed to buying a really big mirror for
Yeah.
$50 to $180,
And then,
and then having and the person that it's also local here in Holyoke, and so it's supporting her, and it's also giving our clients what they need.
And you know what I heard in that? I heard the things that you rent can be personalized to your wedding, and then when they get back to us,
Yes.
we just, because not everybody's name is Allison and Daniel, so
Correct.
it's one of those
Yeah.
things in life that you just gotta you have to adjust for that, but you have a pivot for that. I love the fact that you have an option for, if you don't want just a general welcome to our wedding and welcome to so and so and so and so's wedding
And
option.
that was a new pivot. Like you're saying, we're always
Yep.
evolving.
Yep.
Yep.
That's something new. We actually had someone ask,
Yeah.
and we're like, yeah, we could do that. Let us reach out to someone we know that does quality work
Yep.
and see if they're willing to do it. And now we have a partnership with a local business
That's
that will
awesome.
do that, and we'll give her
The only
that
thing
business.
I also see that the fact that yes, you can rent some items, and going back to the time thing again, you also just, if a bride and a wedding couple is going to rent something, or I see the wedding couple's side. I want to buy something and make it myself so that I can have it forever. When you rent something, you turn it back in.
Right.
Correct.
I get that. The benefit of renting something is you rent what you want, get it personalized however you want, turn it back into them, and the wedding couple that decides that they want to have something that they can have forever, how often are you going to use that one item? So you might have saved $50 by not renting something and just turning it back over to the people, and now you don't have anything anymore. But now you've got this item that how often are you ever going to use that again? What are you going to use it for? Whether it's bistro lights or you're going to rent them instead of buy them. So I get both sides of that. But again, when you get everything that they're going to buy and bring in, they still have to put it together. So if they have the time to do that and the gumption, that's great.
Yeah.
That's great. But for the people that don't, and they want to see what other options that are out there, especially when it comes to centerpieces and so on and so forth, and then you turn them back in. This is something that I've been doing weddings for 17 years now, that now that you start seeing this I've always seen the DUI stuff from the brides and grooms, and they're very prideful of what they've done.
Absolutely.
And then in the next breath, they're like, oh my God, that was so much work. That was so much time.
Yes.
The one thing that I see here is now they can get their time back. Before that wedding, that 3
they can
months,
still enjoy it.
they can have that time to not have to worry about spending hours and hours in the basement, doing what everything else like that. Yes.
We'll spend it. We'll spend the hours making it.
And that's your job. That's your
That's our
niche.
job.
And
We always have projects going, multiple.
Maybe,
I'm sure you do. Too many?
Too many?
Sometimes Jess likes to work on multiple things.
Yes.
and
I
she's
can
like,
see
how
that
come
about
this
her.
isn't done? How come this isn't done? I'm like, oh, let's
You started the last one.
prioritize. Okay,
Right,
this
right,
one.
right. I
this one
understand
first.
that.
It's just
She
like,
helps me
it's
focus.
Okay, but that's there's plenty of things she has to like wind
Sure,
me in
sure.
and say, okay, yeah.
So what else
So-
can you guys tell me about the business out of South Hadley, by appointment only? Website's going to be in the description below. So what else can you guys tell me about the? All of us are going to be at the New England Bridal Show, Fall
Absolutely.
Bridal Show, the 20-year anniversary. That's coming up November 3rd,
Yep.
2024 at the Mass Mutual Center. You guys have
We'll be
a
there.
20-foot by 20-foot, which was
do.
packed
Yes.
last time.
And we were
We were
new.
busy.
We were busy,
Very-
and it was really it was amazing because we didn't.
It was
know
your
how
first
we-
one.
Yes, we didn't know how we would
We were
be
2 months
received.
old.
We were 2 months old,
Yep.
and we were received very well, and that made us think, there really
We're on track.
We're on track.
100%.
There really is a need in this
100%.
area for this.
And the first time, I believe it was the first time I met you, you guys were doing, was it the open house that was at the patio?
Yes.
Yeah, we had
was
a
that
launch
for the
party.
business launch party? That's what it was.
Yes, we had it for our family and friends, and
Yes.
we invited some
Yes.
local wedding
Professionals like yourself.
And who
Yes.
showed up?
Only you.
did.
You're the only one. We invited
did.
about 15 people, 15 different wedding
And here
professionals.
we are.
And we are having an open house actually
for
at
the
our
community. Yeah,
at
in
our
July.
shop, July 25th.
Oh, excellent.
And everyone will be invited again. Customers, friends, family, wedding professionals. Come.
Is
see
it on
where
the
we-
weekend?
It's actually a Thursday night.
Thursday evening.
Yep.
All right, I don't have a wedding. So as long,
Yeah, well, that's-
as, long as I don't have a wedding,
Yeah, and it's
I'm in.
stop by for 5 minutes or spend the 2 hours
Yeah.
there. But we'll have all of our products. You can walk through the shop, see where we're working out of, see the projects that we have done, but also what we might have brewing because we always have.
So you need to start promoting that on your social media,
Yes.
that you've got that date so people can
Yes,
put that
we
side
just
by.
finalized that date, like,
because we're doing our
2
ribbon
days ago.
cutting.
Is it?
Yeah, it's going to be our
Yeah.
business.
And I didn't
ribbon
know that
cutting.
either. And I
Yeah.
wanted to mention the launch party because
Yeah.
me as a wedding photographer, I walked into the launch party. I didn't know anybody. And I think,
Yes.
long story short, you and I knew each other 23 years ago. And then we knew somebody else that were
we
connected
didn't know
to
that
us.
at the
But we didn't
time.
know that at the time. So I walk into this patio. What's it called? One Port?
It was just one more at
Just
the
one more
boathouse in South
at the boathouse in South Hadley.
Yep.
So I walked inside of there. I saw all the stuff lined up and stuff like that. And I knew this was an open invitation to all the wedding events. And I'm looking for any of my friends and stuff like that. And I'm looking at the pretzel wall. I'm looking at the donut wall. And I'm looking at the ladder that you had. You had an old antique rustic ladder, wooden ladder, and it had a wood on the front of it, so it was open like an A-frame, and the wood was on the front of it, and you had your daughter's pictures in picture frames all the way down the front of it, and I was like, that's unique. And I'm looking at all this stuff, and then I found out who you
One
were.
of the things we made.
Yeah. And I introduced myself to you, and you knew who I was and stuff like that. So that was like the first time that whole interaction. I took your cards right away. They're in my studio to pass out to brides and grooms. And I knew that there was definitely a need and a niche for something like this. And here you are 8 months later,
Yes.
still in the first year of this whole process, and still, catapulting yourselves forward when it comes to that. And I feel like you're going to need a bigger space, and I know that there
Yes.
comes with an expense
And more time. And like you said, time is precious. So I am actually stepping back a little bit
You
more
told me
from
that.
my full-time job because we are getting busy, and I want to make sure that we have these items
Yeah.
and everything available, and that we're available for clients. So it was it's just
It's exciting.
It's exciting.
Yeah. Yes.
And we
It's
have so
exciting.
many
We didn't
things.
anticipate
at the same
this
time.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
so soon.
Yeah.
We thought, well, it'll evolve
Like
in
in 3
maybe
years.
a few years.
Yep.
Any new business.
Yep.
But that's when it was that bridal show really when we saw how many people were in our booth, and then just wedding professionals like yourself. We already knew you, and we knew that you were very supportive of our business and knew that there was a need in this area. But also the wedding professionals that were also at the expo, when they had a minute, they
Yep.
made a point to stop by and
Yep.
say thank goodness, because everybody's always asking us
Yeah.
for things like this. Where do I source a green wall? Where
Yep.
can I get? Is there a rental company? And they always
Yep.
had to say no. There's not one you can get everything at. And now we can.
Yeah.
So everybody was like, I think we ran out of cards just from the wedding professionals
Yeah.
that day, because they wanted to
I
be able
feel-
to refer their guests and feel good, because you like probably the fact that you can refer them. Oh,
Yes.
you need a great cake.
Yeah.
Here's a
So-and-so,
couple
yeah.
cards, right?
Yep.
So you're helping them. You're
Yep.
making them taking the stress off,
Yep.
right? And taking the time of researching. He's been in the business for 17 years. He knows what cakes are
Yep.
good and which ones are dry
Yep.
and which ones stay away from. They're not going to
Yep.
show up on time.
Yep.
Type
Yep.
of thing. So. So it was very humbling to know that, people accepted us in this community, especially you, Ron.
Yep.
And then you introduced us to other
Yep.
people that are really have been great and welcoming to us.
I feel like the door was opened up to you, and I feel like the next words I'm going to say is a very generic and generalized phrase, but I feel like the best way to describe what you do is it's almost like a one-stop shop for rentals.
Yep.
Arbors, centerpieces, blankets, everything in between as far as events and things like that also, but we're talking about weddings and stuff like that, and I feel like that's where the bride is going to see value in what you do and how you do it, and see the value in the ease of
Right.
seeing things that are on your website. You go there, have a consultation, and make an appointment, and come and sit down with you guys. And then, as you said, what is your? I love the fact. What do you think your your tables are going to look like? And you start throwing things together like this. Well, what about this? That's exactly what they want.
Or they show us their vision board, and we're like, okay,
yes.
we have these.
We can
items.
fit that. We can match that.
People need that.
We can make that happen.
And we have 9 out of 10 things here. That's still going to eliminate a lot of stress.
100%.
They just have to source one thing instead of 10.
Yeah.
So pull it together, and then you can stop by and bring that one item, and we can put that in, and you can take a look and see how it looks.
Yeah. One of the things that I do, and I don't know if you guys rent something like this or not, is a lot of times my wedding couples will use their engagement pictures as a centerpiece. So they'll print up a 4x6 of the picture, one of the pictures from their engagement center, and it's a round piece in the center, whether they have flowers in it, they have got a stem sticking up, and they got one 4x6 picture of them in the middle of that. Is that something that is doable, that you guys can incorporate engagement picture of some sort to a centerpiece? Is that something?
Yeah, I've heard of even couples doing something like at table 1, this is us when we were 1.
Oh, that's awesome. I didn't even think of I've never seen that.
Here's us at 10 years old.
That's
that
awesome.
type of thing. So definitely.
Yeah, and we have things that we have, things
almost
that
like
hold
propping
table
them up.
numbers
Yeah,
that can hold photos as well.
Yeah.
So some people do that, and they have like a card with the photo, and we do have the little
the stem of some form.
little stems.
Yeah.
And we're happy to create. Like I don't want to give any spoilers here, but we have some things in queue that are just going to blow you away. I mean,
the things we're making.
Yeah.
Things that'll be unique. So you can't get them anywhere else.
Yeah,
so.
You're not going to find them at Hobby Lobby. You're not going to find them on Amazon.
Yeah. And if you do, you'll find all the pieces from all of those other places, but they still got to put it together.
Yeah.
Correct.
That's the part I feel like is going to be the win-win for you, is you're saving them time.
Yep.
Let them come with their vision, show as much as you possibly can with it. They only have to outsource one thing instead of 7 things. You just save them so much time, to me. And when it comes to weddings, it's the most, that last 3 months is just getting everything ready, lining things, put things by the back door. This has got to go here. You do your tour, you do your finalizations, and all of a sudden, oh my God, I still got to go home and make all of my flowers. I have heard stories of brides still putting their flowers together the night before their wedding, and they're still putting them inside of there, kind of thing like that. And
we have high quality, like non-real fake flowers, like lings, like really nice high quality that they can rent.
But they're not done the night before.
And they're not done the night before. No. They just pick them
they'll pick up their tote box.
We help them load them in the car.
Yep.
And that's it. They can sleep the night before.
And then 3 days later, they bring them back.
Yep.
Correct.
That's perfect. So is there anything else you guys want to talk about as far as the business? We got a launch party coming up in July. We're going to be at the bridal show, the 20-year anniversary of the fall bridal show, November 3rd, 2024, at the Mass Mutual Center in Springfield. So you guys are going to be there. I'm going to be there. So hopefully people are looking for wedding couples, they can come out and see us inside of there. So anything else about the business?
I don't think so.
That was a lot.
Thank you for having us.
You had a lot of great questions.
Pleasure. That's what conversations are all about. It's just getting to know you. I knew 90% of this anyways, but I wanted you guys to say it so the rest of the people can say it and see it, and so on and so forth. So other than that, thank you guys for coming to sitting down with me and having a conversation with me. I can't wait to see what the future brings for you guys. And if this has only been 8 months, I can't wait to see where you are in 3 years. Can't wait to see where you are in 3 years.
We have big plans.
Yeah.
So does my husband. It includes a box truck.
Yeah.
He's already hunting for one.
I had told you about that other one over there.
I know.
I'll have to check on that.
I know.
All right. Thank you guys for coming back to the channel. So this is I Do Love a Rental out of South Hadley, Massachusetts. All of their information is going to be down below in the description so that you can go and check them out on their website. By appointment only. Go see what they have to offer and see what they can create for you when it comes to your wedding day. So if you've got an idea, they can put it and bring it to life. So that's the part that I like about it. So thank you guys for coming back to the channel. Peace.
Thank you.
Thank you.